Hello everyone and welcome to the D&D Chronicles where we talk about D&D stuff because we're bored. My name is Thomas.
And I'm Liam.
And today's episode topic is Bites and Frights. You can probably tell by the change in music that we're going for a bit of a different atmosphere.
Yo.
First up, I would like to talk about the Banshee. Something that Liam is not familiar with at all. This is an undead creature, similar to a ghost, but highly specific. Only challenge rating 4, but their CR should be way higher due to one specific ability that I will be reading off soon. But first, when night falls, unlucky travelers hear the faint cries of the forlorn dead. This woeful spirit is a banshee, a spiteful creature formed by the spirit of a female elf. Banshees appear as luminous, wispy forms that vaguely recall their mortal features. A banshee's face is wreathed in wild tangle of hair, its body clad in wispy rags that flutter and stream around it. If you want to know what a banshee looks like, you can go and look up on page 23 of a monster manual. That is a description of a banshee. Not all the banshees are the same. Banshees are the undead remnants of elves who, blessed with great beauty, fail to use their gifts to bring joy to the world. Instead, they use their beauty to corrupt and control others. Elves afflicted by the Banshee's curse experience no gladness, feeling only distress in the presence of the living. As the curse takes its toll, their minds and bodies decay until death completes their transformation into undead monsters. A banshee becomes forever bound to the place of its demise, unable to venture more than 5 miles from there. It is forced to relive every moment of its life with perfect recall, yet always refuses to accept responsibility for its doom. The vanity that inspired the banshee's curse, creation, persists into undeath. These creatures covet beautiful objects, such as fine jewelry, paintings, and statues, and other objects of art. At the same time, the banshee abhors any mirrored surface, for it can't bear to see the horror of its own changed existence. A single glimpse of itself is enough to send the banshee into an undead, spiteful rage. Hello, our apparently new guest star, Joseph.
Never.
I'm literally not being that loud.
We can literally hear every single word you're saying from the chairs over there.
They should soundproof this room better, bruh.
Agreed. I'm also here to bother the living fuck out of you while I'm doing my work.
Of course.
Okay, so we
Feel
have another
free to
guest.
listen to the horrors, basically the horror episode.
Horror episode? Ooh, I know who we've been talking about. The atrocities of that.
Next up. Well, actually, I want to talk about the Banshee a little more, my friends. Only CR4. However, it should not only be CR4.
It's CR4?
Yes.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, you want to know why it's BS? Wail.
You're dead.
Once per day. The Banshee releases a mournful wail, provided that she isn't in sunlight. This wail has no effects on constructs and undead. All other creatures within 30 feet of her that can hear her must make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the creature drops to 0 hit points instantly. On a success, they take 3d6 psychic damage.
Level 20
It's
party.
happened to me too many times, man. It's so...
A level 20 party meets one of those, and they all just die.
No, because literally in the last campaign, we were level 15 or level 16 or something like that? We encountered 4 banshees. The only reason we lived was because our party cleric refused to go down to the whales, one after another in succession.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the worst constitution out of all of us.
Yeah, he just kept rolling great. It was crazy.
Or else it would have been a party wipe from just 4 of them. And there's CR4.
Oh, let's give those to
I have a new idea.
4-level adventurer.
But
I don't
yes.
like you players anymore. 13 banshees.
Do either of you have any questions on the Banshee?
Why does it look like that?
Well,
Why does it look
like
like it
as
has-
I listed before,
Let's-
Banshees are undead elves.
Oh, that
Elves
makes sense.
blessed with beauty who refused to use their gifts for good. That's why they look like that.
Looks like you got white paint all over him.
Yep. Anyway, mayhaps it's time to look on to the next creature.
Ooh, the bullywug.
No,
Oh,
the carrion crawler.
Oh shit. I don't know if I want to be here for this one.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
For those who want to see a description, page 37 of the Monster Manual. Carrion crawlers scour putrid flesh from carcasses and gobble the slimy bones that remain. They aggressively attack any creature that trespasses on their territory or disturbs their feasting. Carrion eaters. A carrion crawler follows the scent of death to its food, but prefers not to compete with other scavengers. These foul creatures thus hunker down in territories where death is plentiful and other carrion eaters have limited mobility. Caves, sewers, dungeons, and forested marshes are their favorite lairs. But carrion crawlers are also drawn to battlefields and cemeteries. So, think of these guys like flies, right? But they're size class large.
There's lots of them. They come in packs. They are not friendly. They give you diseases. They will tear your flesh from your skin.
Actually, they, like I listed before, they don't like being in groups. They're more solitary creatures. However, if there is enough to go around for everyone,
There will be lots of them.
there will be lots of them, yes.
Me after the war. Yo, bro, why are the bodies moved? What are those things? There's thousands of them. The wizard.
They're
Fireball.
only CR2 though.
Fireball.
How to solve any problem in D&D.
However, tentacles, melee weapon attack +8 to hit, reach 10 feet, one creature, 1d4 plus 2 poison damage, and the target must succeed a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned for 1 minute. Until this poison ends, the target is paralyzed.
What?
The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns.
I
ending
thought
the poison
poisoned was bad. Paralyzed? What's the point of poisoning them?
That's worse than the ghouls.
What's the point of paralyzed? What's the point of poisoning them if they're gonna be
Wait, we're going into an
paralyzed?
active war zone in our camp.
Yep. Just make the con save. Oh, you fail. Paralyzed.
I have +1 to
Meanwhile,
con.
after-
Oh,
failing it,
and no.
I-
Listen to me. That's the thing, though. If you're poisoned, you have disadvantage on saving throws.
Oh.
It literally gives you disadvantage on the saving throw.
It's just a, you know what, just to make this extra crazy, okay, cool, I'm DC 12. Fuck you. What if I just stink up this entire room?
Don't be the carrion crawler. A carrion crawler roams on the hunt, its tentacles probing the air for the scent of blood or decay. In tunnels or ruins, carrion crawlers scurry across the ceiling as they move towards food. In this way, they avoid contact with oozes, otyugs, and other dangerous inhabitants of the darkness, even as they surprise potential meals that don't think to look up. Oh, by the way, CR2, 51 hit points.
Why?
Average.
That should be CR5, not...
No. CR.
Hit dice 6d10 plus 18.
Okay, so that wouldn't be CR5. I'd say, well,
3, I'd say.
maybe 4. 4 would be pushing it, but I'd say 4 mainly because of the fuck you, you're paralyzed with disadvantage for that throw.
Aha. Paralysis is brutal because that also means auto crits.
It's really bad.
And I mean,
And
its
auto
bite
crits-
only does 2d4 plus 2 if it hits, but still, it's
many-
critting with that.
How many attacks does it get?
One with its tentacles and one with its bite.
I'd say CR5.
Yeah.
I'd personally say CR3 or 4. But
You're a DM. You don't get a
oh
say
no, that's
in
just
this.
it, Mike. That's just it, though. It was a tough fight, but my level 2 party was able to take this on. One of our characters died,
Yes, that.
but
You're
I
not...
mean, CR2 is made to be a near equal fight. If you have a full party of 4.
oh, this thing had
and
the
2.
advantage. It, like I said, it was an uphill battle. We almost lost. One of our party members just straight up died.
Was it a wizard?
No, actually, it was the cleric.
The party's main healer, the only one that can cast Revivify.
We were mid-dungeon, too. Patient predators. Whether in subterranean darkness or while hunting at night, light signals a potential meal. A carrion crawler might follow a light source from a distance for hours, hoping to pick up the scent of blood. Despite their great size, carrion crawlers can also be easily set up ambushes by waiting around blind corners for prey to come at them. When facing potential prey or intruders, a carrion crawler lets its poison do the work. Once a victim goes rigid with paralysis, the carrion crawler wraps its tentacles and drags them to a high ledge or isolated passageway, where it can be killed easily and safely.
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
The monster then resumes patrolling its territory while waiting for its meal to ripen.
Well, that's a good point because it likes dead things and it likes
Yes.
rotting things, so it's gonna fucking leave you there to rot. Oh my god, that's. Ooh, I know. Wanna know what you should do next?
I mean, I already have a plan, but...
Lich.
Oh, I'm doing something quite similar, actually. Those who have their monster manuals out, go to page 49.
I used it in my campaign. I don't like that page. It's what killed the entire party, Liam. In one turn.
CR18, everyone.
What level were they?
They were level 4.
Why'd you throw a demi-lich at a level 4 party?
Okay, so the way I meant it to be was, okay, here's the big bad, okay? He's going through this city. Leave him alone. You can't handle this.
Oh, and then the entire
I
party.
firebolt the demi-lich. You dumbasses. Okay, roll initiative. Okay, so he goes first and you all die. What do you mean? Finger of Death. How many hit points do you have? 34?
Wait,
You're
lich
dead.
or demi-lich? Why? Okay, must have been a powerful lich because some liches can actually enslave demi-liches. For those who don't know, or for the D&D veterans out there, they changed demi-liches because demi-liches used to be heightened versions
Of liches.
of
They're
liches.
not anymore. They're considered sub-liches.
Yeah, now they're considered lesser than liches because now they're just liches who forgot to feed their phylactery. That's stupid. No. Give me back the old demi-lich.
I mean, to be fair, demi usually means like less powerful.
Yes, it does, but demi-lich is back in 3.5 days just meant the lich didn't have to stick around in its body. Now, I shall read it to you. The immortality granted to a lich lasts only as long as it feeds mortal souls into its phylactery. If it falters or fails in that task, its bones turn to dust, and only its skull remains. This demi-lich contains only a fragment of the lich's malevolent life force. Just enough so that if it's disturbed, these remains rise into the air and assume a wraith-like form. The skull emits a terrifying howl that can slay the weak-hearted and leave others trembling with fear. Left alone, it sinks back down and returns to the empty peace of its existence. A quote from a demi-lich. I, Asarak the Eternal, beckon you to your doom. Come, foolish ones, plunder my treasures if you dare. Others have tried, all have failed. From your skin tapestries shall be woven, and your bones will carpet my tomb. Only I am beyond death's reach. Only I know the secret of true immortality.
Should I bring up a 3.5 monster manual for some of the monsters there? Truly terrorize them?
We need to start hurrying up.
Yeah.
Actually, because we're running long. This episode's definitely going to be a longer one. Let's just say that.
Let's get on to shadows then.
Hold on.
Or flame skulls.
I'm not done reading about the demi-lich. Few liches seek to become demi-liches, for it is a means to end the existence they hoped to preserve by becoming undead. However, time can erode the lich's reason and memory, causing it to retreat into its ancient tomb and forget to feed on souls. The spells it once knew fade from its mind, and it no longer channels the arcane energy it wielded as a lich. However, even as a mere skull, it remains a deadly and vexing enemy. They technically don't get spells, but they do get other things.
Cool, you're within 20 feet of me. You're dying. What? What do you mean I'm dying? Oh, you see
Even
the
after-
miasma around you? It's poisoning you. It's sucking the life out of you.
Huh?
I give you asthma as my attack.
Even after a lich is reduced to a demi-lich state, its phylactery survives. As long as its phylactery is intact, the demi-lich can't be permanently destroyed. Its skull reforms after 1d10 days, restoring the creature to its wretched state. If it has the presence of mind to do so, a demi-lich can reclaim its former power by feeding on just one soul to its phylactery. Doing so restores the demi-lich to a full lich, reconstructing its undead body.
You're telling me you can just be like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore. Touches a coin to you.
Uh-huh. I kid you not.
It would completely heal them, it would change their class, their CR rating, and they would get spells.
I kid you not. My dad once played in a campaign with a newbie. I need to specify that this wasn't me. Some idiot. Like, ooh, a big box made of many precious metals.
Dumbass.
He touched it.
Dumbass.
Guess whose soul went into the box?
Fucking dumbass.
Yep. Guess who came back 20 feet away from them? TPK.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That campaign ended that session.
See, that's why I do slight power building, so that we don't get a TPK.
And when we power build, you wanna know what we get? Stronger enemies. Wanna know what those stronger enemies are? Higher CRs than our entire party.
Hey,
wanna
guys.
know what that does? It fucking TPKs us. Shut
Man,
up.
They're only 3 combat rating higher.
Even after a lich is reduced... Actually, no. A demi-lich doesn't require air, food, drink, or sleep. So great is the Demi-Lich's will to survive that it always has the maximum amount of hit points for its hit dice instead of average. Always maximum. So what's 32 times 4?
158.
128.
128 hit points always.
That's okay.
36.
That makes them immune to Finger of Death,
Oh.
which they'd be immune to anyways because it's necrotic damage.
Okay. I also just want to say they get lair actions and legendary actions. And legendary resistance.
What the fuck is this thing?
Oh, and you know how clerics get this funny thing called Turn Undead? They just get full immunity to it. Not even resistance, just immunity.
It's just like,
You can't scare me, mortal fool!
how about this? In response for you attempting to turn me back human.
Well, no, Turn Undead just means you scare them away or just destroy them if they're a low enough challenge rating.
It's just instead of that, here, how about I turn you into an undead?
Yeah, another thing is, the Demi-Lich, avoidance. The Demi-Lich is, if the Demi-Lich is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a saving throw, to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds the saving throw, and half if it fails. Now, that's similar to a Rogue's Evasion, except this thing is all saving throws, not just dex saves. All saves. It automatically halves all damage from all spells that require a saving throw. Your fireball isn't doing anything to this thing.
You want to know what will do things to it?
It also has immunity to necrotic, poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks. It's immune to being charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, or stunned. It has true sight to 120 feet.
What is this thing?
What's it, CR?
18.
Yeah.
It can fly 30 feet. It has a 20 armor. It has a 20 armor class.
Makes sense. It's an ethereal mist.
No, the skull is physical.
I mean, yes, but it's surrounded by an ethereal miasma,
Yes.
so it makes sense.
Miasma?
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it's goo or dust. You know.
Think of it as when you see a dead body in like a video game and you see like the black like fog that's around them. That is miasma, and it weakens,
Howl.
paralyzes, poisons.
That's how bad your
There's
asthma
all
is?
sorts of things. Yes.
Howl, recharge, 5 to 6. The Demi-Lich emits a blood-curdling howl. Each creature within 30 feet of the Demi-Lich that can hear the howl must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or drop to 0 hit points. On a successful save, they're frightened until the end of its next turn. That's on a successful saving throw. The life drain. The Demi-Lich targets up to 3 creatures that it can see within 10 feet of it. Each creature must succeed a DC 19 Constitution saving throw or take 66 necrotic damage. The Demi-Lich heals that amount
I was about to say
of
that's-
each creature.
I was about to say that's not that bad until you said that, like even the not the each creature, that's 66 worth of healing. That's fucking broken.
No, because look, I heal 66 hit points from you, I heal 66 hit points from you, and I heal 66 hit points from you. That's 18d6, bro.
Like I said, it's like that's already broken when it's just 66, but it's per person.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have to split this up into 2 episodes.
No. Just an extra long episode is fine.
Look at how many meat we have left. We've gone through 2 out of 7.
It's okay, bro. Because that's it for the Demi-Lich. Unless they want me to go over all the legendary actions and layer actions. For those who want to see episode 48. I mean, page 48 of the Monster Manual.
I may bring you guys over to my house someday because I got a Blue Yeti microphone,
Nice.
so you'll be able to hear. They'll be able to be like really good fucking quality.
Good. Maybe maybe you become part of the episode, part of the podcast.
I might be
Let me know how you feel about that, my like 2 viewers.
Psst, I'm a fellow DM. You might want to hear my stories.
Now time to go to page 135. 134.
What is that thing?
Oh, that's just a flump.
Oh.
Trust a flump. Flumps are good.
They're funny.
I love flumps.
They're good people.
Anyway, time to look at the flame skull. Again, another CR4 creature.
That shouldn't be CR4.
Blazing green flames and mad echoing laughter follow the disembodied skull as it patrols its demise. When the undead flame skull discovers trespassers, it blasts them with spells called up from the dark recesses of its memory. Dark spellcasters fashion flame skulls from the remains of dead wizards. When the ritual is complete, green flames erupt from the skull to complete its ghastly transformation. Okay, I'm just gonna read off one of the things. CR4, they only have about 40 hit points and 13 armor class, but they can fly 40 feet. They have resistance to lightning, necrotic, and piercing damage. Immunity to cold, fire, and poison damage. They're immune to being charmed, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and prone. Dark vision of 60 feet. They can speak common. They light up 30 feet around them. So, okay, I just want to paint a picture for everyone out there.
Like
You're
the
staring down.
fiery skull is just dashing at you.
No. You're looking down a long, dark hallway in a dungeon. And you start hearing laughter, howling laughter. And you see around the corner light coming.
It's the light at the end of the tunnel.
And then you get your head shaved off by a fireball. Because they can cast it. They can cast fireball.
What level? Just
Third.
base third?
Third.
Okay.
They're 5th level spellcaster.
It's actually not. That's. I mean, it makes sense.
If the
for
flame skull is destroyed, it regains all its hit points within an hour. Unless holy water is sprinkled on them. Or dispel magic, remove cursed is cast on them. And if they decide they don't want to cast a spell, multi-attack. The flame skull uses fire ray twice. +5 to hit, range 30 feet. 3d6 fire damage. They can use that twice. That's the same damage as a scorching ray. Except they only have to roll to hit twice instead of 3 times. Oh, and they have resistance to magic.
I mean, it makes sense. They're literally magic embodied, essentially.
Now here's something I wanted to talk about. Page 270. Joseph's looking at me. Do you know what it is? Tell me if you remember. If you remember what it is, Joseph.
I don't remember what it is. I just know I don't like that page.
Oh, shadow.
Shadows. One of my favorite monsters as a DM because it doesn't matter what level you are as a party. They
It's
are
terrifying.
always scary. You want to know why they're always scary?
Death charge.
I'm not even gonna... You know what? I'm just going to say it before I even read the description of the monster. If they hit you with one of their attacks, they just drain your strength score by 1d4. If your strength score is reduced to 0, you instantly die.
A level 20 wizard can die in 2 hits from this thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it would take 3 hits of max rolls from this thing in order to kill my current character. How many attacks does it get a turn?
Just one.
There's 2 of them.
Thanks be to God.
There's
So
2
you
of
have-
them.
so you
Oh, yeah, no, they are usually in groups. I'm going to read out why.
What?
Why? Shadows are undead that resemble dark exaggerations of humanoid shadows. Literally, page 269, actually, for those who want to read. From the darkness, the shadow reaches out to feed on living creatures' vitality. They can consume any living creature, but they are especially drawn to creatures untainted by evil.
Oh. So the purer you are, the more shadows there are.
No, they like feeding on good creatures, untainted by evil. A creature that lives a life of goodness and piety consists its vastness, impulses, and strongest temptations to the darkness where the shadows hunger. As a shadow drains its victim's strength and physical form, the victim's shadow darkens and begins to move of its own volition.
I see.
In death, the creature's shadow breaks free, becoming a new undead shadow, hungry for more life to consume.
Oh, so they multiply themselves. That's...
If a creature from which a shadow has been created returns, they don't shed a shadow. They don't have a shadow. And a shadow might attempt to slay its parent.
I will be going now. Goodbye.
Are you sure you don't want to stay for the zombie apocalypse story?
I have to go.
Oh. Now, they're half a CR. I don't know what the people who were making this monster were thinking.
Yeah, half a CR.
Armor class 12 and an average of 16 hit points. That doesn't seem that bad, right?
Doesn't.
If they're in dim light or darkness, they have a +6 to stealth. They're vulnerable to radiant damage. However, they have resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks.
Still gonna fireball it.
They're immune to necrotic and poison. Immune to exhaustion, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, or restrained. They can move through spaces as thin as an inch without squeezing. Oh, and when they're in dim light or darkness, they can hide as a bonus action. They have disadvantage on a bunch of stuff when they're in sunlight, but strength drain, melee weapon attack, +4 to hit, reach 5 feet. One creature. 2d6 +2 necrotic damage if the target's strength score is reduced by 1d4. The target dies if this reduces its strength to 0. Otherwise, this reduction lasts until a short or long rest. If a non-evil humanoid dies from this attack, a new shadow rises from the corpse 1d4 hours later. Now, DMs, I'm just going to give you this little tool here. If you need a reason to get rid of a town, and there's like a lich or someone who controls undead nearby, throw shadows into the town. Just one shadow. One shadow can wipe out an entire town of commoners. Liam's looking at me like I'm confused, right? But I'm going to tell you why. What do towns often have?
People.
Alleyways. Alleyways are places hidden by the dark. The shadow comes out at night, feeds on anyone out at night. Commoners only have 2d4 hit points. A strength drain, reasonably, can one-shot a commoner.
How much strength do they normally have?
Well, commoners have 1d10. They have a strength of 10. Most of them do anyway. But think this, 2d6 +2 necrotic damage.
I see.
That's a minimum of 4. That's half of the strongest commoner's hit points. Most commoners have 5. And most commoners have the neutral alignment. If a non-evil creature dies, a new shadow rises 1d4 hours later.
So you could just have an entire army.
Uh-huh. All from one shadow. I know we're going a bit longer. It's okay.
A lot longer. This is twice the length of a normal episode.
It's okay, though. We'll just skip the Wights and Wraiths. I wanted to cover them, but they're not as important as the zombie apocalypse story. Actually, Liam, what do you think I should cover? The zombie apocalypse story or the Wights and Wraiths?
Zombie apocalypse story.
Okay. Okay. So, this is in my campaign. Okay. I'm just gonna put out a precursor. You're a dumb farmer. You find a random cave when hunting for squirrels. Squirrels, Liam. Squirrels are small, right? How many can you fit in a grain sack? Don't have to go just yet?
Nope.
Lovely. You can stick around for the zombie apocalypse story, Joseph.
I heard something about squirrels. Let me guess. They have shadows.
No. Here's what happens. You're a dumb farmer. You're out hunting for squirrels. Tell me, how many squirrels can you fit in a grain sack?
A lot. I'd say
Right.
50.
Maybe not 50, but somewhere in the 20s at least, right?
30-something.
23.
You go into a cave. Oh my gosh, I'm a dumb farmer. I found this box with and it's covered in gold and silver and gemstones. I could sell this for so much money. He touched it. A bunch of dead squirrels suddenly rose from the grave and tore him asunder. He made it back to town somehow. His hunting buddy fucking died.
Of course.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is usually below a city other than the sewers? Do you know what a necropolis is?
Essentially, the Paris catacombs.
Mm-hmm. A catacombs. A place where they keep the dead.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
He brought what was later found out to be a lich's phylactery.
They didn't die on top.
Uh-huh. He brought it into town because he was holding on to it because he was obsessed with it. He would not let it go. Under any circumstances. He went to the hospital. Right?
Clerics on, didn't they?
No. They just figured, oh, it's a box of jewelry. He's gonna probably try and sell that. That's probably worth a lot of money. No wonder the dumb farmer is so obsessed with it. That's a fortune to him. Now, the thing about some phylacteries is their mere presence can raise the dead.
I see.
There's a necropolis underneath the city, Joseph,
I see.
with centuries of dead.
Yeah, I know.
Guess what started rising?
Okay.
And I need to point out something. These aren't Walking Dead zombies we're talking about, or normal D&D zombies. These zombies... Has anyone seen World War Z?
No.
We're talking sprinters, and if you get bit, 1 round. If you failed the saving throw, 1 round. You fall, and you get up within a round, and you are now a zombie. Yeah.
Is that what we dealt with in
I kind of stole that encounter from Tim, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
However, I want to run it again because I did not do it justice.
No, you didn't.
Now,
It was okay.
well, gotta admit, that was like my first month of DMing. So, no fucking wonder.
No, it wasn't. The one where Hudson was the witch.
Yeah, that was like... That was first couple months of DMing, like maybe first 6.
Yeah, that's a good point. How long have we been DMing now? I'm going on 2.5 years. You're going on, I think, 6?
3-ish. 3, maybe 4. Anyway, back to the story.
I'm still currently running a campaign if you want to join it.
What day is the campaign?
Sundays.
I'll join.
What happened is...
How good?
The dead found a way out of the catacombs. It was the nighttime, too.
Oh, dear God.
So people were sleeping in their homes. Me and my party, we were at an inn. A very nice inn. It was that one time where, like, we're going to go all out. We're going to spend so much money getting us a nice inn to stay in for the night. We were getting showers. We were getting company for the night. We started hearing screams. Chip got curious. My character, Chip, he got curious and he walked outside. I saw a commoner running. And another commoner running behind him. It looks like a commoner anyway. What happened was I saw the commoner behind him tackle and bite the other commoner. I rolled stealth immediately. Because I didn't want to get eaten, right? And then I saw that other commoner. I get up and I'm like, oh, he's fine. I went to check on him. He immediately tried to bite me and I'm like, what the fuck? Shing, stab. But he didn't die. Because they are being... these guys were more like puppets than zombies. And the curse was spread through biting.
That's really bad.
That's terrifying.
I
went back to the inn, woke everyone up, and said, hey, we kind of got a situation.
I wouldn't say that's terrifying. I would more say that's
Horrifying.
really, 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 really bad. I wouldn't find it terrifying unless I were, say, like, legitimately in the actual world.
You're level 5.
We were level 3.
Okay, that's terrifying.
We were level 3, Joseph.
Does your DM just want you all to die?
No, this was Halloween.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it like a single
We went... Oh no, this was part of the actual campaign. See, how do you think the lich that was dead came back? The souls from all he harvested that day. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So I woke up the rest of the party. They're like, what's going on? And at first they didn't believe me. It was a bit of a roleplay moment, and I brought them outside. We saw a guy, hey, you, come over here, pounced by like 4 zombies. And he wasn't just turned, he was devoured. Torn apart. We were all shitting our pants at this point. So, like, okay, we gotta find a place to hunker down or get out of the city, because we're not gonna make it at this point. We run, and we find... Okay, this is the city of Bridgepuddle. So, I need everyone to paint a picture of them in their minds. 9:15. A lake cutting through the city, right? Well, not a lake, but a river cutting through the city. Across this lake is a bridge, and in the middle of the river, is an island with a castle on it. And this bridge also connects to the island with a castle, so it's like a T shape, right?
Right.
We went there.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay.
Towers on each side. Now, yeah.
World War Z moment. World War Z.
We went in the tower because there were towers on each side of the bridge, so that way, hey, they can't get in. We got to the top of the towers and we saw the city in chaos. Literally a zombie apocalypse moment. There were buildings on fire. Smoke was rising from the city and we saw seas of undead. Now, we also saw a bunch of commoners. Please, let us in the gates! Please! Chip Del Toro, beat the crap out of, I had to fight a guard because he was being cowardly and saying, I'm not opening the gates for a bunch of commoners. It's your job to protect them. So I opened the gates, let some commoners in, right?
Did you get it shut in time?
Barely. We're talking one round away and zombies would have started biting the commoners inside the gates. That's bad. However, we did say, save, thousands of, not thousands, but hundreds of lives, so,
Worth it.
Now, and then a World War Z moment happened. They started scaling up the towers with each other's bodies.
No.
Yeah. So you know what I did? See, these guard towers, they had furniture. So you know what and lamps and lamp oil. So I'm like,
oil. Match.
Yeah, so literally, well, if they're behaving like puppets, you can't be puppeteered if there's no body to puppet. I started throwing down wooden furniture and burnable things, and all the guards are like, what are you doing? We could use those for barricades. And then, whoosh, with a match. And they're like, oh. And Chip goes, yeah, boom. Yeah, and apparently those bodies were good kindling. Because some of the bodies were the bodies down in the necropolis. Covered in bandages and dried up. Uh-huh.
Oh, that's gonna...
So, whoosh! I started lighting zombies ablaze. And then I went over to the other tower and did the same thing. And then we all retreated into the castle on the island, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got on top of that. Something even scarier happened. Zombies started coming out of the river onto the island. And they also started scaling up the walls of the castle. Because it was slanted slightly upwards, like this. Making it even easier. So,
Magic circle.
so you know what I did? I took a bunch of vegetable oil, olive oil, and lamp oil, poured it down the sides, and said, arson time! Foosh!
The whole town was burned. All the commoners are dead.
No, the commoners lived because of my actions.
As if I did that, all the
Also,
commoners
Liam.
would be dead.
I saw your sister at Walmart yesterday. I said hi to her.
Okay.
Just thought I'd mention that to you.
Okay.
Especially over the podcast, just to make people uncomfortable.
Anyway,
That's
yeah,
cool.
in the morning, because we had to fight literally over the course of 8 hours, guys. 8 hours of fighting and combat.
How many levels of exhaustion?
I came out with 2. No,
Which doesn't-
I came out with 3. The rest of the party came out with 2.
Which doesn't sound that bad, but if you know exhaustion levels, people, that's really, really bad. Because by 4, or is it 3?
I came out with 3.
Right, but I'm trying to remember. Which one puts disadvantage on... Which one halves your movement speed, puts disadvantage on all saving throws and attack rolls?
That's 3. I had disadvantage on saves and attack rolls. And then I took
at 5
Long
your
rest
speed hits
to
0, and at 6 you die. Your hit points drop to 0 immediately.
I took a long rest after the party took a long rest because Chip stayed up, like helping the guards pour more oil down the things, more oil down the sides, and throwing more furniture to burn. Because the zombies, even the burning ones, were still climbing up. Okay, I'm just gonna paint a picture for you. Multiple burning zombie humanoids climbing up the side of a castle. That's scary, okay?
Welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell. In the morning, when the dust finally settled, and we had barely survived, we had to make it to the hospital. We went to the hospital because we know there are clerics there. Maybe they know something about it, and that's where you found the idiot with the phylactery.
That's just a...
You fucking imbecile! Psh.
drops phylactery, all the zombies just...
No. First of all, we grabbed it with a clothed hand because we didn't want to touch it directly skin to skin for obvious reasons.
Smart.
And then we destroyed it. We did a ritual to destroy it. Unfortunately, by then, 2/3 of the town's people had been consumed as souls for the Lich.
Welcome to D&D, folks. It ain't always
He's the
sunshine,
BBEG
rainbow.
now.
It ain't always sunshine, rainbows, and fun joy.
It never is. Not with Thomas as a DM, you as a DM, Tim as a DM. None of the DMs anywhere are nice.
See, the only time I ever am an absolute asshole to my players by giving them literally impossible encounters is when they're like, oh, this is too easy. Yeah, throw something harder at us. You have no idea the power I hold in my hand.
I say that jokingly. I don't actually say that as in I want you
If you can.
to give us impossible encounters. I think we should...
And that is the end of the zombie apocalypse story. The town still somehow survived, but it is crippled right now.
Time to get to the last two ones. No.
Remember to leave a positive review if you like the podcast, and if you want to hear
About a topic, let us
hear
know.
about a topic, let us know.
Now may your rolls be high, and may you not die. Good luck and goodbye.